space of time so long it will not last. Well, the hands of time get on it now. See them moving, moving fast. I'll be strong.
Είναι λοιπόν ήδη 6:30 και θα είμαστε μαζί μέχρι τις 8. Παρέα όπως πάντα με τον Johnny Walker και παρέα με τους Fuzztones εδώ και λίγα λεπτά. Hi guys, welcome to Rock FM.
Hey.
Hi. Για την ακρίβεια, δίπλα μου είναι φυσικά ο Rudi Protrudi, η Debbie και ο Φίλη, αλλιώς Bad Lord, 3 από τα 4 μέλη των Fuzztones. So, always nice to have you here with us.
It's great to be back.
It's great. I mean, Athens was always very hospital, Fuzztones.
Athens is our second home.
So, what shall the fans expect this time, do you think?
Well, they can expect the unexpected.
The unexpected.
As always.
But you have a new album.
We do, yeah.
Is it available yet or not?
Well, we actually don't know.
Oh.
Again, see, the unexpected. We don't even know ourselves. We're having it pressed right at this moment. We're hoping that we're going to have it available on the tour. We're actually hoping to get it tomorrow night for our listener party, but as it stands right now, we're not actually sure if it'll be pressed in time or not. We probably won't know until the very last minute.
I assume that one can order it by your website.
Yes. The website is www.fuzztones.net.
All right. So let's listen one song from the new album. To tell you the truth, I don't know the titles. You just gave me the CD, so I'm going to listen to it for the first time as well.
Okay.
So, which is the song?
Am I supposed to tell you? Name that tune? By two notes? That's called She's Got My Johnson in a Headlock.
Well, I was looking for trouble when I found you. Now you got me seeing double, babe. That ain't nothing new. I left my loving on the dark side, and now we're in the same boat. Well, I dipped my pen in the inkwell shouting, baby, that was all she wrote, yeah. That old black magic has me under its spell. That old black magic that you Johnson in a headlock. She put my Johnson in a headlock. Yeah. And now I'm down for the count.
You know, Rudi, as I told you, it's always nice to see you performing on stage. But actually, this is a bad time for all the world, for all of us, I mean.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So, as an American, what's your stance against or...
Well, the Fuzztones are totally against the war, and we've always been anti-war from day one. Actually, if you listen back to a lot of our past albums, we have anti-war songs, starting with probably on In Heat. There's a song called "It Came in the Mail," which is a song against the draft and against draft cards. On Brain Drops, we have a song called "Fear," which is an anti-war song. When I was in my band in the 60s, King Arthur's Court, we wrote a song called "They're Gonna Get You," which was anti-war, which is anti-draft. We have a song on this new album that's called "Get Naked." Our solution to the war is to basically, have everybody just be equal, forget about your status, about your religion that you're trying to push down people's throat. Take your fucking army jackets off and get naked, and let's everybody just be like babies and just love each other. And, it's all hippie stuff, but, it's true, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with everyone getting along. I don't see why everybody has to hate each other or be told to hate each other. One of the lyrics of our song "Get Naked," which, by the way, I wrote when I was 15 years old. We just decided to do it now because it's very naive, but it happens to be the truth. If you don't like war and stuff, just walk around in your buff. That's what the song's about.
More or less, we're all the same.
When we're undressed.
You had always this anti-authority attitude.
Absolutely.
And this is a good song about what we're talking about. It's "Hate, Murder, Police," your cover on the Thursday's Children song.
Yeah, I have to admit, I'm not for the police. The police haven't treated me very well, and I don't really have any respect for them. So yeah, it's an old song.
About the LAPD.
Yeah, that's true. We're talking about Los Angeles police. They're different in different areas, In New York, when we lived in New York, the New York cops actually did their jobs. Los Angeles police can't be bothered to really do real work, so, they harass prostitutes and jaywalkers, which is in the lyrics of this song. I rewrote the lyrics because they're from a band in the 60s called Thursday's Children, but I rewrote them to address the issue of the LA cops, which are just basically guys who are on a power trip, they...
and pick on girls.
Yeah, well, they pick on everybody, makes them feel big, so that's what this song is about.
Screaming sirens and flashing lights, screeching tires in the night. No escape from the black and white. Maybe a hooky to wipe the seat belt fender. Help, murder police. Help, somebody please. It's a crime wave. What has that come to be?
So, Rudi, this song has definitely a story.
Yeah, well, like I said, I wrote this with a friend of mine when we were like 15 years old. It was originally an anti-Vietnam War song, and we thought it pertained to where we are today, you know. And then to make it a little cooler, we just happened to be able to get Sky Saxon from the Seeds to come and do a guest spot on it. So that's who you heard at the end there.
Yeah.
In fact, on this album, we also have James Lowe of the Electric Prunes
yeah,
doing a guest appearance on a song. And we actually summoned the spirit of a dead friend to participate in a song. Screamin' Jay Hawkins comes back from the dead to participate in one of the songs on the album. So we have a few pretty special guests.
I know that you were close. Jay will always be with you, I mean.
Yeah, he will.
But this song with Sky Saxon was great.
Yeah. We love the Seeds.
Okay, let's go back to the past. We're going to listen to a cover you did at the beginning of the 90s at one song by the Music Machine.
Oh, I love the Music Machine too.
Sometimes dreaming I'm in here scheming on you. Collecting head is nothing better to do. Memories everywhere, loving you is in my head and eyes. Never when a time and place you could come upon your face of surprise. When you see the people in me, man, it's you, what will you do? When you see the people in me, man, it's you, it's overdue, yeah. Tired of crying, rectifying the cause. Friends are cheering and I'm hearing applause. The days that you better run, don't call me, I'll never come to you. All the other games to play, what they mean and what they say to you. Memories everywhere, loving you is in my head and eyes. Never when a time and place you could come upon your face of surprise. When you see the people in me, man, it's you, what will you do? When you see the people in me, man, it's you, it's overdue, yeah. When you see the people in me, man, it's you, what will you do? When you see the people in me, man, it's you, it's overdue, yeah.
I think, Rudi, that we have another interesting story for our listeners that has something to do with the Music Machine.
Yeah, we got together with Sean Bonnywell and Ron Edgar from the original Music Machine last year, and we did a show in New York at
It
Cave
was,
Stomp.
one of the Cave Stomp shows at the Village Underground.
Yeah.
And we called ourselves the Fuzz Machine and backed them up. Backed Ron and Sean up. And did what, about 8 songs?
Mhm.
and it was incredible.
It was all the Music Machines songs.
Yeah.
Only music machine
Like
songs. We did a
Vaguely Never
Fuzztones.
Hands the Fly and stuff like that.
We did a Fuzztone set ourselves, our own material, and then we came out, and Ron played drums, and Sean sang, obviously. Rudi played bass, I'm on the keys, and Phil Batlord played guitar, and we became the Fuzz Machine, and played only Music Machine songs with him.
So how do you explain that these old 60s guys are still, let's say, maintain their cool?
Well, at the risk of possibly sounding overzealous, I'll say it's because of the Fuzztones. When the Fuzztones came out in 1980, everyone had forgotten about this kind of music. And the Fuzztones brought it back into recognition. And by covering songs by bands like the Music Machine and...
They revived them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then people started to look for the originals. You know, just like the way when the Beatles and the Stones came out and they were covering old rhythm and blues and rock and roll, then people started to look, who is this Jimmy Reed? Who is this Howlin' Wolf? Who is this...
Bo Diddley.
Yeah. It's the same thing. When we came out, we were doing songs by the Chocolate Watch Band or by Gone or...
By the Music Machine.
Yeah. So people started to check them out. And then this whole sort of garage revival happened. And eventually, the bands found out that people were interested in them again, and some of them reformed. And over time, more and more have reformed. So now we have the Electric Prunes, the Chocolate Watch Band, the Standells, the Monks, the Seeds have all reformed. Love have reformed.
Monks have reformed?
The Monks reformed for one show.
Oh.
And they played in New York at a cave stomp.
That was one of the most original bands, in my opinion, ever.
They were incredible, and I couldn't believe I got to meet them, because when I was not with the Fuzztones, I had an all-girl band called Das Furlines. That was an all-girl Monks cover band.
Oh.
And we played all Monks material, and we kept talking about them in the press, and this was probably like 86, 87. We kept talking about them and pretending they were our lost lovers and that we were crazy Fräuleins, that we were called Furlines, and we couldn't find them, and where were they? We loved them. And finally, they got like one of them, Eddie, got in contact with us because of the press we were receiving, and we talked about them on MTV with Andy Warhol, and Eddie put his book out, Black Monk Time.
Yeah.
And he started corresponding with us, and then we started corresponding with all of them, and then finally they played Cave Stomp, and we got to come and meet them and gave them videos of us, and it was just it was a dream come true for me to meet the Monks.
And what's even more interesting is while they were in New York doing their only appearance, and the first appearance they ever did in America, by the way. Mm-hmm. They never had played America. They were American GIs stationed in Germany in the 60s, and they had never once played America. So 30 years later, they played in America, and there's a documentary that was being filmed at the time on them, and they interviewed me in the documentary. So one of the Fuzztones will be in a documentary on the Monks, and to make it even better...
Das Furlines videos are going to be in the documentary.
Are they? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
But to make it even better, Gary, the singer, and Eddie, the bass player, have just recorded a Fuzztones song.
Which one?
Heard on Hold.
Yeah.
And they did it Monk style, and the recording sessions are in their documentary.
Oh, great.
So the funny thing about the Fuzztones and reviving this sort of music and getting people interested in the music is we've somehow kind of connected with the original guys, and the 60s and the 80s came together as one sort of thing, and now it's so far beyond that now that we're in 2003, both the original and the 80s so-called revival of it have both been looked at now as legendary. And we're in touch with all these people now. We've had people like Arthur Lee and Sean Bonnywell play on our records. Now we have James Lowe and Sky Saxon on this new album. I've toured with Craig Moore from The Gone. I've gone on stage with the Chocolate Watch Band, Davey Allen and the Arrows, and it all just comes around. Now we're all just kind of like one big community still representing this music 33 years later. So it's a movement.
My brother, the man, knows what I am. Oh, yeah. Turn me